Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome today to the review of a piece that's straight out of Compton. Well, perhaps not straight out of Compton, but it probably knows where Compton is. This is the Bronson by California brand Collins, a really cool little Flieger with a twist. I've been enjoying wearing this one out and about. Let's get into the review. Okay, so the Collins then, a little bit of California on your wrist. Comes in an outer box, comes in an inner box. Now this is another former Kickstarter project. I believe the first of these pieces were shipped to customers in July 2017, so it has not been for sale all that long. And I believe the price of them has just dropped as well, which I always appreciate. There we go, so we've got the sandblasted steel case on this one. They also do a black. These ones start from $295, so $295 US. You can spec up a see-through case back. You can also spec up various different bands and straps on these as well. Jimmy, big thank you to Jimmy for sending me this one for review, Jimmy Collins. He also sent me a couple of different strap options, so I'll show you on these two. I'll also pop it on a black collar ebb that I've been wearing this one out and about on. Really been enjoying the Collins. I think it's a great watch. I think there's a bit of a California logic running through this one as well, which I'll get to later on. So these ones, not made in the USA, but assembled, tuned and tested in the USA. So you've got to be careful with what you're claiming these days. So assembled, tuned and tested. Kind of classic set of dimensions, 40mm diameter. It's just under 12mm thick. We've got 20mm on the lugs, and this one weighs in on this standard leather strap at just under 85 grams. We've got a classic Type A Flieger style dial arrangement here, but with a couple of little twists that just separate it from standard Fliegers. It's a kind of reinterpretation, if you like. Jimmy is a big fan of music, built himself a recording studio, and this one has a couple of nods to that. Some of the text used on these numbers is from analog bits of equipment in the studio, and that tiny little second hand you can see is like one of those little ampere meters, one of those level meters that you find in recording equipment. So a couple of little nods to his own personal heritage that mark this one out as slightly different from the kind of Flieger style watches. So a nice detail on the crown as well. This is another little piece of studio equipment, a little nod to it. They've got a little knob with a marker there, which he assures you on the website does in fact go up to 11. Bead blasted finish on the case, very nice as well. No polishing at all here, no reflective surfaces, which brings me to that California logic. California, really sunny place. Jimmy actually also sells sunglasses under the Collins brand. There you see some impossibly beautiful Californians enjoying the Californian sunshine, looking very cool in their Collins sunglasses. Now Sydney, where I reside, is also a particularly sunny part of the world. Look at this watch. No polished surfaces whatsoever. Now if I'm wearing a watch and I'm out and about, I've got a few with too many polished surfaces on them. It's like wearing a glitter ball on your wrist. Honestly, not good. So this one, I think I'll get a lot of use out of this over the summer. Nice leather strap, big chunky leather strap actually, but it doesn't dominate the watch, which is, you know, sometimes you can put too big a strap on a watch, but no, pretty good there. Nicely constructed, looks like it'll last for ages. Genuine leather there, and we've got the Collins brand embossed on the other side. Decent chunky tang. I'll get it to focus there, and yep, we've got a proper laser etched, again, brushed not polished on the tang. We caught a little flash of it earlier on, but there it is, the Seiko NH35 movement. Sapphire on the front and sapphire on the back, by the way. But I should point out that the sapphire case back, the display case back, is a cost option, coming in at an extra $30 US. I'm not so sure. They haven't bothered to sign the rotor here, so I think, you know, why pay an extra $30 to see what is a pretty ordinary movement if they're not going to bother signing the rotor? So perhaps save your money, buy a second strap rather than the see-through case back. It's a bit of a workhorse, this one anyway, but a micro brand staple, 21,600 vibrations per hour, 6 ticks per second, 42-hour power reserve, hacks and hand winds. So I'll pop up a Loom shot. How cool is that Loom? Superluminova, old radium, and lots of it. Looks fantastic. Love that they've even got the brand name loomed up as well. Really nice Loom and lasts for a decent length of time as well. So it may not be pretty, but it's pretty accurate. Have a look at that one. That's over 2 weeks running, mixture of in the winder and on my wrist out and about. Couple of nights left flat on its back as well. You know, you can't argue with less than -4 consistently within the zone around 0 as well over a couple of weeks. Pretty decent result from the Seiko. And there it is on top of my 7-inch wrist. I should have said 48mm lug to lug on this one, but 40 is really a bit of a sweet spot for me. I think most people can get away with a 40, even if you've got down to 6-inch wrists or up to 8-inch wrists. I think 40 still looks nicely proportioned, and it's a good solid strap on this one as well. I think it suits the watch nicely. And there it is on the green Zulu. You know, I think it's a nice choice of strap for a watch of this kind. Again, nicely blasted hardware on the Zulu, so certainly in keeping with the colour scheme of the watch. I'm just not a big fan of these straps, to be honest. I'd much rather have it on the leather. And indeed, I've been wearing it out and about on this one. All black collar Venezia. I think it suits this beautifully. That lovely old iridium loom. Super black, black on black. Looks great. So niggles then, I usually find something to moan about. Not too many though in this case, to be honest. I think dropping the price down to $299 makes it a much different value proposition. Just an extra $50 off, it used to be $350. I think $299 is a pretty decent package. I wouldn't bother with a display case back, as I've said, for the reasons that, you know, it's not the most attractive movement. Now the tiny second hand, yeah, it's tiny. You really have to concentrate to find the thing on the dial. Perhaps not as super legible as it might be, but then it's a stylistic choice. And the hands themselves, everything else is matte, but the hands are a little bit glossed around the edge. I'm not sure that that works. I think they might have been better off sticking with an all matte handset. But really not too many niggles with the Collins. Really nicely thought out watch, few nice little touches, and as I said, great for sunnier climes. I like this little watch a lot. I think at $295 it's got a real appeal, especially if you live somewhere sunny. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.